Whatever side of the world you joining in from, I'm welcoming you with all open arms, and we're gonna have some good conversations tonight. This is your plant-based wellness partner, Jamari Kirby, founder of Vegan Fiber LLC, author of Why Dairy is Scary, the Ditch Dairy Guide, and other books out there. So, welcome. We're gonna be talking about today why dairy is scary. And I'm gonna treat it like we gonna have the most transparency that we can because y'all my family, y'all my community. And I wanna share this message with you all. This is our latest book out right now, Why Dairy is Scary. And we're gonna take some time out to give you a quick guide. This is not the full book that we're looking at. This is going to be a quick guide, and we're gonna go into some interesting topics. So some of the topics we're gonna cover is the concept of dairy today, types of dairy, lactose intolerance, and how to attain a dairy-free diet. So those are just a couple of quick topics we're gonna talk about. But I want you to sit back, kick back. You know, you're in good hands for the next. If you got an hour to give me, I'm gonna be here. If we got more time, I'll spend more time. But I'm on no duration. So, but we're gonna keep the initial thing quick and interesting as we can. But I'm gonna definitely jump into some deep things that and go over some things. But I also heard that when the student is ready, a good teacher will arrive, a peer. So we're gonna get this thing rolling. I'm excited to be here with everybody that's joining in. So I'm gonna give everybody a couple of moments to join in, and be sure to tune in. If we got any volunteers that want to join in, just comment below. I'll send you the link. I'm always excited to have the community join in if they want to be interactive. So we plant basing with Kirby today. We ain't got the friends joining in unless they join it in, but we plant basing with Kirby and friends. This is after hours, so y'all gonna get the most transparency that I can get with y'all. So I'm gonna give y'all some time to join in. But whatever you are, wherever you coming from, be sure to like, comment, share. Keep supporting us. Uh, we are family owned, small business owned, so we really appreciate it. Big ups to the community. Big ups to everybody joining in, the Vegan Fiber family, the authentic customers, supporters, the day ones. I appreciate y'all. Whatever side of the world you tuning in, once again, this is Jamari Kirby, your plant-based wellness partner. And today we're going to be talking about why dairy is scary. And just a quick guide, the concept of dairy, how to live a dairy-free lifestyle, types of dairy, lactose intolerant. We're going to jump into it. If you haven't gotten the book, Why Dairy is Scary, this is a great workshop to tune in, to see if this is a good lifestyle for you to live, and exactly what is dairy. Some of us may be having symptoms of being allergic to dairy, and may not understand our intolerance. So this is going to be a great workshop for anyone that's looking to take some actionable steps into living a healthier lifestyle, or just want to increase their vitality, and just some good things. So I'm gonna jump into this. No further ado. Once again, this is Jamari Kirby, a co-founder of Vegan Fiber LLC, and also author of Why Dairy is Scary, the Ditch Dairy Guide. And we're gonna jump into today why dairy is scary. And I feel like it's almost like the virtual world is dope, man. I'm seeing how it's evolving, and I'm seeing how just before I jump into this, I gotta knock the shells off because I want y'all to get comfortable just as much as I'm comfortable here. And part of having success is, in my opinion, is getting uncomfortable. And coming online sometimes for me is not the most comfortable situation. I tell you that. I'm a very in-person type of guy. So for me, I come on here, and it's definitely some days where I'm just like, all right, I got to do it for the community. I got to. But I promise you, if you show up, it's time for you all to show up for yourselves. And I promise you the information to be here. We have a great authentic library of information. A lot of the things that you see, like this book, it wasn't created overnight. This is over 3 years of us just researching. As you can see, the other co-author, Shayna Maud, which is also our co-founder of our company, the other co-author of this book, and we've taken a large amount of time to research and develop these facts and things that you're reading. Is not like, this is really truly us going out there and having our authentic selves research and develop this information. And when checking facts, it takes time to appropriate the research. So the information you seeing is digested into a way that has been researched and developed by our expert-led team and ourselves as well. So no further ado, I'm going to go into why dairy is scary. And also, I would like to make a disclaimer that the information that you all are hearing is still have not been evaluated by the FDA. I don't plan to cure, treat any diseases and those such. So I just got to make a little disclaimer about that. Still follow with your physician for anything that you want to take action based. But no further ado, we're gonna jump into this thing. So yeah, if you're here with me tonight, comment. You're more than welcome to join in. We're gonna be talking about the concept of dairy. And like I said earlier, having success is getting a little bit uncomfortable and achieving new heights. And this is what I want you all to dive into. So kick back, relax. If you got any questions, try to hold them to a point where you can catch a good break. I'm gonna give you a quick introduction of this concept, and we're gonna dive right into it. So let's get into it. Y'all bear with me here. All right, so a little bit, and some of this I'm gonna read, and you can read along with me. This is why I got this information displayed. So we're going to be talking about the concept of dairy. All right. So some people, some studies have shown that people who consume dairy on the regular are at an increased rate of developing heart disease or cancer. Many of us are being around mass produced dairy products and maybe not be all the way aware of the ingredients that's being used in these dishes. So we're going to talk about right here. It says any food that's prepared from animal milk or produced in the mammary glands is simply referred to as a dairy product. The most popular dairy products are made from cow's milk, which we are all familiar with. But this is also used to make cream, cheese, pastries, and much more. Now, cows are often the main producers of dairy products. So a lot of us, when we think of dairy, we automatically think of the cow's milk, right? But that technically isn't the only concept of what it means by dairy. Dairy is still an animal milk that's producing in mammary glands. So with the mammals and the mammally producing these milk, these glands are all forms of dairy pretty much. So however, dairy products, like I said, is not only made from cows. In addition to using milk from goats, sheep, and numerous other mammals are also used in various nations. So for individuals that can digest dairy products, they can serve as a source of a protein, a fat, and a sugar. And these are processed similar to these food groups. The protein, the fat, and the sugar composition of these animal milk really depends on the type of milk or the animal that's being used, that's being derived from. So a lot of this understanding of dairy, I just wanted to jump into this concept first so that we can have an understanding of what we're talking about when we're talking about dairy products. So, and if you're just joining in, we're just going into the concept of dairy. So, let's talk a little bit about types of dairy and what to be on the lookout for when we're talking about uh milk. All right, I mean dairy. So, milk is the primary component of dairy products. It's also contained from mammals who are pregnant or just have gave birth. For cow milk to produce, it must give birth at least one calf per year. All right. So if you're wondering how these cows are producing milk, it has to be pregnant or just giving birth. Um, and later in the book and other parts in the book, like I said, this is a quick guide version of the book. If you're just tuning in, this is a quick guide version of the book. If you see here to the top left or whatever that place on your screen may look like, if you want to buy the full version of the book, you're more than welcome to check it out right here. Just scan the QR code or visit the veganfiberstore.com. But the other form of dairy is cream. So cream is made by processing the animal milk, which entails separating the fat from the milk. Um, this procedure that frequently uses the centrifugal force. So after the pretty much the fat has been extracted, they separate it and then turn it into like a thick cream, which they use like a lot of saturated butter fat, which has been already pasteurized to kill bacteria, um, which is left behind. So there's a lot of things that go into making that cream and bacteria. So that's another form of dairy, which is number two. So the number three version, let me get here, and just in case anybody's in the chat, let me display the chat, y'all, just so y'all, anybody that's joining in, welcome, welcome. If you want to join in, just let me know. I'm always looking for people to read this out. You know, we wrote this book. I am the author of this book. So a lot of this information I'm familiar with. I would love for anybody, if they want to join in, y'all more than welcome to comment below, join in, read, or read in your head with me as we read. All right. So the third thing that we're going to talk about, which is types of dairy, is butter. All right. So butter is created is a form of the creation of the cream. And this process of separating the fat from the butter fat is continue to create the butter. All right. So another form of dairy is cheese, which is created by taking the milk, coagulating it into a protein called casein. Casein is a fairly common protein and makes up at least 80% of the proteins in the cow's milk. All right. So another form of the dairies is yogurt, and that is made from fermenting the milk or the cream with lactic bacteria, which this thickens the milk or cream and causes some yogurts to have. Let's go here. Bear with me so you can read with me a little. To have a little acidic flavor. All right. So that's how the yogurt, which entails of what it takes to make yogurt. So another, and if y'all all with me, let me know. I'm going here hand in hand. So we on a couple of different platforms. Like I said, like, share, and comment if y'all found this information valuable. But tonight we're just going to be, or today, we're going to be talking to, pretty much just about the concept of dairy, ditching dairy. Why is dairy scary? All right. So those were the concept of dairy, which we covered. So we covered the concept of dairy. We covered the types of dairy. Now let's talk a little bit about lactose intolerance and a couple of other areas of what that looks like for the symptoms of lactose intolerant. All right. So lactose intolerance is the difficulty to digest the natural sugar lactose, is known as lactose intolerant. All right. Dairy items like milk and yogurt are two examples that typically include lactose. All right. So let's go into a little bit about the how you acquire lactose and what this intolerance really mean. All right. So you acquire the lactose intolerance when you're in your small intestines, when your small intestines stop producing enough lactase enzyme that's needed to break down and digest lactose. So this causes undigested lactose to enter your large intestines. All right. The symptoms when you're lactose intolerant when consuming dairy may look like bloating, gas, diarrhea. These are some of the symptoms of your reaction in your large intestine between the normal bacteria and the undigested lactose. So this is what we are known as grown to know as lactose intolerant. These symptoms, right? But we're not really maybe understanding what's really taking place in our digestion system that causes this uncomfort after consuming milk or a dairy product. So today we're going to break down why dairy is scary and what's taking place over a time period and the effects of dairy and on each age group. I'm going to go through it from age groups from 0 to 2. I'm going to talk about the dairy effects on age groups from like 9 and 11, age groups from like 18 and up. So we're going to go through a lot of this. So like I said, if you got some time, bear with me. We're going to run through this. If you got any questions while we in the chat, more than welcome to place it. I'll place your questions here on the screen. But we're going to keep moving forward with the information that we have here, and move forward. So now that we understand some of the symptoms of having a dairy intolerance, let's talk a little bit about cultures and how that affects. So adults with ancestry from Asia, Africa, or Hispanic countries are more likely to be lactose intolerant. So the facts of it in one study is that the Cleveland Clinic estimates that more than 30 million Americans have an intolerance for lactose. This condition can be painful. As we already discussed here, lactose intolerant can cause bloating, gas, and diarrhea can be symptoms. But we're going to talk a little bit more later about other symptoms and how it can be effective on the body over a period of time. So those who are lactose intolerant frequently experience gastrointestinal symptoms such as gas, bloating, diarrhea 2 to 30 hours after drinking milk or other dairy products containing lactose. So if you are lactose intolerant, we recommend you stay away from dairy products. So we're going to move on to the next slide. So some of the lactose intolerant symptoms include bloating, abdominal cramps, excessive gas, diarrhea, nausea, vomiting, your stomach rumbling and gurgling, and abdominal pain. These are some of the symptoms that take place 2 to 30 hours after consuming dairy. All right. It could appear even 30 minutes to 2 hours after consuming dairy here, or last even several hours, some of the statistics show. But the severity on this can vary, the symptoms of the duration of these symptoms can vary from person to person. It just depending on the amount of lactose consumed and also that individual's intolerance to dairy. So changing to a dairy-free lifestyle, we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. But for some of y'all that's joining in, we talked a little about this right here. I'm gonna go back one step real quick. Well, actually 2 pages. We talked a little bit about the dairy right here for so adults with ancestry from Asia, Africa, and Hispanic countries are more likely to be dairy intolerant. So we'll talk a little bit about that and the numbers and why that's important. So many of you may be thinking like, what is a dairy-free lifestyle may look like, or what is dairy even in? So changing to a lifestyle that's dairy-free of lactose, let's talk about it. So we got to pretty much eliminate the milk and dairy products from the diet or lifestyle, and then a lot of the symptoms will disappear. Even consuming dairy has a lot to do with acne and a lot of other things that we'll talk about later, ovarian cancer, a lot of other things. But entry level right now, I want y'all to walk with me as I'm going through this concept. All right. So the first important thing is to identify whether a food contains dairy. So we need to start reading labels and look at the ingredients on the food label. So the following ingredients that I'm going to go through with you tell you if there's if it's going to indicate if there's the presence of dairy. So if you read a label, all right, you're reading this label, right? Let's say I'm reading this label and I see anything on this label that says this ingredients or this product contains milk, cream, cheese, and let's look at the other list: yogurt, butter, margarine, whey protein, casein, lactose, dry milk solids, non-fat dry milk powder, or nougat. These are all things that can be a sign of that product containing milk dairy, excuse me. See, we may only, and I just want to pause right here for a second and leave this to the open chat. What's going on? I can't see who said it, man, but whoever said what's going on, Cuzzle, man, I appreciate it. Like I said, I appreciate everybody tuning in. I just want to, rock with y'all out for a little minute and just rock out, man, because a lot of the symptoms of disease that we've seen around us, we've been victims of seeing a lot of our relatives maybe suffer with cancer, high blood pressure, heart disease, heart attacks. And, we don't know where it started from. We don't know what's been in our lifestyle over time that has progressed and grown. And one of the things that I want to just focus on today is eliminating a dairy out your lifestyle. Whether you want to be vegan or not, I just want to focus today on living a dairy-free lifestyle and how much of an impact just by starting that can really make on your journey to living a healthier lifestyle. All right. So that's why we're talking a little bit about today on why dairy is scary and how to live a dairy-free lifestyle. Okay. So if you read an ingredient and it says any of the following products. So once again, if you're reading we're talking about how to identify if a food contains dairy, and I want y'all to take notes of this. All right. So if you're reading a label and you're wondering, does my product contains dairy? I want y'all to write this down and screenshot it. All right. So if your product says contains any of the following, all right, milk, cream, cheese, butter, yogurt, margarine, whey protein isolate, casein, lactose, dry milk solids, non-fat dry milk powder, or nougat. These are all ingredients that contain dairy. So do not fall into the trap. A lot of times we may eat chips and not realize that these are made with dairy. So we may only start looking and be like, oh, well, I don't drink milk, or I don't do this and I don't do that, and I don't understand how this is all in my lifestyle. If you are consuming any of these products that may be hiding these ingredients with these verbiages, you are still consuming dairy. Okay. So it's important to note that some of these ingredients, such as sodium caseinate or calcium caseinate, can also be derived from dairy and may not specifically list as milk on the label. So it is important to start reading labels. All right. So dairy is also a common ingredient in many foods and can sometimes be in unexpected places. So processed foods frequently include milk and milk-derived products. All right. Even some non-dairy creamers and medicines might include lactose and milk derivatives. All right. So here are some examples of where dairy may not be immediately apparent, but could also be present. Okay. So what does that mean? Does anybody know what that means when I say this statement right here? If you understand what this statement means, comment below. All right. So these are some examples of products where dairy may not be immediately apparent, but could also be present. That is something I want y'all to think about. All right. So check me out. All right. So if you're finding this valuable, just do me a favor, like, comment, share, just help us spread the word. Join our Facebook group, Plant Basing with Kirby and Friends. I got a list of special guests that's going to be dropping in through the season. I cannot wait to bring them to you all. So just keep joining us on Facebook group, Plant Basing with Kirby and Friends. I'll be there, and can't wait to see you there. All right. So some of the places where dairy may be present that you may not be aware of. So baked goods. All right. Some baked goods such as bread, pastries, cakes may contain dairy or be in a form of milk, butter, or wheat. Okay. Processed foods such as sauces, some soups like cream mushroom soups contain dairy. Canned goods may contain it. Some thickening agents may contain dairy. Meat products such as sausages, hot dogs may contain dairy or some form of milk product. Milk powder or whey protein. I know for sure hot dogs contain whey protein. Read your label, you'll see it. Keep digging. They say if a student is ready, a teacher will appear. All right. So another product that dairy may be apparent but not be immediately recognized. Snack foods. Some snack foods like crackers, chips may contain dairy, such as a flavor enhancer or ingredient. And when I first started getting into this plant-based journey, like I said, I'm like, what, almost 5 years in now, practicing plant-based and living a plant-based lifestyle. I was tricked early on into a lot of these things, thinking that I was living like this lifestyle, and I was still seeing certain things go on that I'm like, yo, why am I still having like reactions, even though I was improving? And this was a part of my transition that I did not really comprehend early on where I was still consuming certain foods that contained a lot of the stuff that I was being like proactively against. So it quickly humbled me to understand that I'm still practicing this every single day. Just like if you go to the medical office and they say in practice or practice, this is just the same with me. All right. In plant-based world, not medical term. All right. Just in the plant-based world, I'm plant-based and practicing. All right. So every day I'm still working hard to not slip up and consume these things. So I've tried my hardest to do some labor reading every time I read a product. Do I feel like sometimes somebody may get away here and there with slipping something that's really against the things that I stand against? I would be lying if I say, yeah, they may be getting away sometime. All right. But that's why it's important to always ask questions, talk to the chef, read your label, try to eat things that have about 4 ingredients or less, or unless it's just like whole ingredients where it's including like a whole bean or something. But we'll talk about that later, all right? Not to switch subjects, all right? So some other things that dairy may be not immediately recognized, but presence is candies and sweets, all right? Some candies and sweets such as chocolate, nougat, caramel may contain dairy in a form of milk, powder, or condensed milk. A lot of things such as like candy contains pork. A lot of people may not know that. Like a lot of your like a lot of candy contains pork. Like just read the ingredients. A lot of candy contains pork. It's like a lot of the leftover things of a lot of different animals just get bunched up and then flavored with a lot of sugar. But that's all in the presence of a lot of candies. So for me, I never was a candy person growing up. I'm still not even been a candy person as in my adult life. But getting into this journey, I'm absolutely candy free, unless it's like a lot of natural snack type of thing, dry fruit. But it's just always important to give you all some resources. So yeah, we talked about things that may be present of dairy, but some non-dairy products also, such as plant-based milk and dairy-free cheeses, may still contain casein, which is a protein found in dairy products. So people may get into this journey and still be getting tricked to being like a junk food plant-baser. You know what I mean? So don't get caught up in the web and don't be like, man, my boy Kirby didn't warn me, because I don't want y'all to come into this plant-based world and then still suffer because you're still being like a junk food junkie and plant-based and not getting the whole food lifestyle. So that's why I'm giving y'all the raw. I'm giving y'all the raw uncut right now. 2 times for the raw uncut, man. Give me some applause in the comments. The raw uncut, because I don't know if everybody gonna keep it as real as that. So give me some comments for the raw uncut. All right. I'm gonna keep it pushing. I appreciate everybody that's participating and tuning in. If y'all finding this information valuable, like I said, like, comment, share, and support. If y'all finding this information valuable, okay. All right, so I'm gonna go into some more of this PowerPoint here. Bear with me. I told y'all having success is getting uncomfortable and being uncomfortable with the uncomfortable. And part of this is, like I said, you show up for me and I'm gonna show up for you. So we're gonna work through this together. All right. This software that I'm using, I'm getting back familiarized with it and testing things out. So y'all my community, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Y'all keep it real with me. All right. So it's important to always check your ingredients list on the food labels to identify the presence of dairy, which I told y'all earlier, screenshot some of the things to identify which contains dairy. If anybody didn't get that, let me know. I'll jump back real quick so you can screenshot it. If not, I'm gonna move forward. It is always important, like I said, to check the labels and whatnot. So it is impossible to avoid lactose sensitivity by consuming less dairy. So some people just think like, oh, if I consume less dairy or do things that's like skim milk or certain things, I'm not consuming the dairy, but it's still present. All right. I'm not gonna hold y'all up on this page too much longer because I do got a lot more other like things that that's way more like exciting to tune into. But let's talk about the effects of consuming dairy and what that looks like. Okay. So cows have hormone systems that are meant to regulate and control their lives, including reproduction and help their babies grow. All right. So most people really assume a lot of the marketing, and I just want to talk about a little bit of this. And then, like I said, if y'all want to support my book that we wrote, this is our book, Why Dairy is Scary. You can buy the full book. This is just a quick guide that I'm jumping into. But a lot of people, a lot of our life, we fell victim to the marketing of milk for bones, or we hear, oh, you got acid reflux, go drink some milk, or go drink some milk to make bones stronger. That is all myths. There are no scientific facts that is backing these claims that a lot of these marketing companies are making when they're saying milk for this, milk for that, milk for calcium. There's no scientific facts that's backing up in any studies that milk contains calcium or is good for bones. There are a lot of science that's backing up actually that people who consume dairy are more likely to be exposed to osteoporosis because dairy takes so much of the iron out of the body. So that's later here. And there's a lot of facts in the book that you can go see where we're talking about that at. And also look at the reference that we use at the end that tell you where you can go find a lot of this research at as well. But we're going to move on to the next subject about dairy, because these practices of what we're consuming dairy are very harmful to cows, but it's also harmful to us humans. So when humans drink cow's milk, the additional hormones can be harmful to the bodies. So the hormones in milk can affect humans in a few different ways. They can cause fertility issues in men and women, including infertility. They can cause breast and prostate cancer. Consuming dairy can also increase the chances of getting ovarian and uterine cancer, early puberty in children, hormonal imbalances, mood swings and changes in our sex drive, growth issues in children, weight gain, digestion issues in liver, and digestion issues and liver problems. These are all things that can affect our body from consuming dairy because of the hormones that's found in milk and can affect the human body. All right. So outside of how it affects the body, I do want to bring a small portion of awareness of how the animals are being treated when they are on these factory farms is very it's a very terrible experience. If you ever haven't had the luxury to see any type of footage about how these animals are being treated once they are on the dairy farm, take some time out to see how your milk is being processed before it is just to your table. And you maybe may reconsider how you may want to consider consume dairy and dairy free products. um a next subject that I want to go to is a lot of dairy is a lot of saturated fat, and this can also lead to a lot of increase in weight. So people who struggle with weight, people who struggle with metabolism, I highly, or even diabetes, I really recommend living a dairy-free lifestyle. Okay. And that's just my recommendation. It's not mandatory. It's just my recommendation. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the medical and side effects of dairy, and what is it doing medically to the body, and what's going on when we consume dairy. I told y'all this is all why dairy is scary. um and I just want to just dive into this with y'all, man. Y'all my peoples, y'all my community, y'all all I got. And I know that, like I said, when the student is ready, a teacher will appear. So whoever this is message is supposed to be getting it tonight, today, where side of the world you on, because where the sun down one place, the sunrise somewhere else. So wherever you are joining in, this may find you and deliver you from living a dairy lifestyle, which contains a lot of these side effects, and it wears down on you over a period of time. So um, milk has long believed to been promote for healthy bones, which I said earlier. And we promote so much children to drink milk daily. Once again, there's no scientific facts that backs that dairy is good for bones or contains calcium. All right. Today's scientists advise against consuming as much dairy because milk consumption has been linked to numerous long-term and short-term health issues. So we're going to talk about the health issues. All right, let's discuss it. Discuss it. All right. So y'all still with me? Like, comment, share if you with me. Comment what city you follow me from, what part of the world, what country you in. Because, we reaching the world with this. We live in a dairy-free lifestyle. We ditching the dairy. We eating we the new way to eat more plants, vegan fiber. Our community is awesome. Our support system awesome. And you awesome. So check me out. Dairy contains high cholesterol levels. It's no secret. Google it. Go research it, and not just take Google for facts, but go look at the articles that comes up that's from factual sources. All right. Dairy contains high cholesterol levels. So things like your milk, your cheese, your butter, your yogurt, your ice cream are all examples of products that are sources of saturated fat and is bad for your cholesterol. Eating foods high in these categories increases the chances of developing heart disease. All right. So that's already one reason why dairy is scary. How many of us know someone or a family member who has congestive heart failure? How many of us may know someone who had a heart attack? How many of us know somebody who suffers from high blood pressure? All right. So, number 2 reason why dairy is scary. Dairy affects the inflammation on the colon. So, many of us see this concept of we be wanting to detox, or we may start fasting. If I asked you right now, what's the first place in the body that you want to detox when it comes to how our body responds to infection or weight loss or disease? What's the first place in the body do you think you need to work on when detoxing or looking for a healthier lifestyle? What's the first place in the body do you know of? I'm gonna give you. So if you guessed it, great. If you didn't, I'm gonna tell you. So when we're looking at addressing disease in the body or just eliminating toxic waste. Let's just say that, all right? Let's take the word disease out. Let's just say when eliminating toxic waste out of the body, the first space that you want to address is the colon. Okay, the colon is the first place that you really want to focus on and addressing when talking about eliminating toxic waste from the body. All right, consuming dairy products may also cause inflammation of the colon. When people consume dairy, the bacteria in the gut tends to get more aggressive. The more aggressive this bacteria start to cause and inflammation in the gut. This consists of a small and large intestines, which is the colon. This which it consists of small and large intestines. So the inflammation of the colon could lead to development of collateral cancer. Hence, you should already avoid the intake of this dairy product to avoid this condition. So dairy also can be scary for the third reason. Dairy also affects the strength of the bones. I've said this, all right? Dairy has shown, some studies have found that a high intake of dairy products, particularly milk, may increase the risk of hip fractures in older adults. All right. So we can get into this facts. I've already kind of gave you a hint to go research that. I'm gonna let you go research that on your own time. I'm not gonna take too much time out of the facts of that right there. But let's go into another negative effect of excessive dairy consumption. All right. So dairy causes ongoing bloating and gas. All right. Another negative effect of excessive consumption of dairy products is bloating and gas. Dairy products can contain a significant amount of lactose, which interferes with a normal digestion process. We've talked a little bit about the lactose, so you've got a good idea of that. Dairy, in just alone for the fifth reason, dairy in the digestive system uh, helps develop chronic digestive issues, which can be brought on by dairy due to the excess animal protein and lactose. Furthermore, dairy irritates the lining, um, or let me go back real quick, make sure I didn't skip over something for you. I think, yeah. So dairy irritates the stomach lining and may result in further intestinal damage. All right. So a number six reason. Oh well, let me go back to this. So people who may even be suffering from things like leaky gut syndrome, people who may be suffering from autoimmune diseases, people who may be suffering from IBS, acid reflux, diarrhea, constipation. These are all things that can be symptoms of consuming dairy. You understand what I'm saying? So just by removing dairy out your lifestyle can be a great addition and asset to combat and fight these symptoms. All right. So the number six reason why dairy is scary is the intolerance to lactose. All right. So contrary to people's belief, all right, the form of intolerance is more prevalent. All right. Nearly 95% of Asian Americans are lactose intolerant. 74% of Native Americans are lactose intolerant. 70% of Black African Americans are lactose intolerant. Which, if we didn't, and I just want to say this so we can understand the huge difference. if we had not been had the things that took place to where our culture had interference with how we are now, mixed within a lot of things that took place with slave trades and all the other stuff that took place, our culture of Black African descendants are truly 95% lactose intolerant. But because through evolution of time and the things that took place, we are now kind of like at a 70 percentile, 70 to 80% still dairy intolerant. So 53% of Latino Americans are lactose intolerant, as opposed to white Caucasians. They can have a prevalence of 15% of lactose intolerance. So they're a little people that's Caucasian white Americans are less to be impacted by the dairy consumption, or the dairy, the prevalence of dairy, because they are able to have a better intolerance than the other races and cultures that I've listed up here, ethnicities. So dairy also, for the number 7 reason, may increase the risk of cancer. All right. So according to studies, it contributes to moderate growth hormonal cancers, or moderately to the growth of hormonal cancers, such as breast cancer, colon cancer, testicular cancer, prostate cancer. There's been scientific evidence that's backed up the link between milk and insulin-like growth hormone factors, which is known as the IGF-1. So also prostate, that's also been prevalent thing about the men dealing with prostate cancer. That's been a growing study. We'll see how that's been an issue when we tune in later about seeing the age and how through lifespans consuming dairy affects us in the long run. All right. So dairy has also been dairy consumption has also been linked to ovarian cancer. Woman that's experiencing early signs of maybe fibroids and things going on all in the ovaries can also be an indication of early things leading to cancer growth. So women who are, and I'm gonna show you a little bit of science that we had in the research. So here there was a study done to support this conclusion at the Iowa's Women's Health Study, said that it showed that a woman who drank a glass of milk every day had a 73 greater chance of having ovarian cancer than those who drink one glass less or didn't. All right. So let me read that one more time. Okay. So there was a study done at Iowa's Women Health that indicated that women who drank at least one glass of milk daily had a 73% greater chance of having ovarian cancer than those who drink less or didn't. So that alone should just, I mean that alone, woman out there alone, should be motivation to ditch the dairy. All right. So dairy products increase diabetes predisposition. All right. So diabetes with insulin dependence. All right. Diabetes, known as type 1, which is like the most common for childhood onset, is linked to early dairy consumption. Now, before I go into this French study, dairy is prevalent because a lot of school, not even a lot, all school systems, it's mandatory that dairy is served. It's mandatory in these school systems that dairy is present. So when we're talking about type 1 diabetes and that being linked to the onset of early dairy consumption, I mean, where's our children spending 180 days a year at? You know, during the 2001 Finnish study, about 3,000 infants with a hereditary susceptibility to diabetes participated in this study. This study revealed that type 1 diabetes risk was enhanced in give me one second, was enhanced in newborns exposed to cow's milk at a young age. Additionally, the American Academy of Pediatrics found that newborns who avoided cow's milk protein for at least the first 3 months after birth had a 30% chance of developing type 1 diabetes. Also, due to the increase of iron deficiency and low iron content of cow's milk, the Academy does not advise infants younger than 1 year old to consume cow's milk. Okay. Now, colic. Colic is a different issue that is very likely in a few months of life for these children. It says more than 28% of infants get colic, and cow's milk is frequently identified as the cause. Now, colic is a fancy word for these kids that's having like a lot of the stomach cramps, diarrhea, the bloating. When you see the infants pooping all uncontrollably and it be all those weird colors, that's the blame of colic. You see a lot of time these kids get to screaming. Let's say you see your baby always in a cry where it's like in the middle of the night they just can't stop crying, and we know that is something going on, but we just can't identify it. 9 times out of 10, a lot of these formulas still contain some type of dairy, and that is a very large risk of why your child is experiencing that uncomfort in its digestion, is because of the presence of dairy. Another reason of why dairy is scary is the flawed skin health. Man, I don't want to dive into this conversation too much because it can be a sensitive topic for people. But I do want to bring the awareness that a solution to impurities in our skin can be the presence of dairy. So if you are listening and you've been wanting a solution, once again, when a student is ready, a teacher will appear. Then eliminating dairy out of your lifestyle is highly recommended by us here at Vegan Fiber. We really recommend eliminating dairy out of your lifestyle. Okay. All right. So, outside of the saturated fat and animal protein found in cow's milk, there's a link between consuming dairy, like I said, and heart disease, obesity, diabetes, iron deficiencies. These are all things that show the risk of early consumption of dairy. According to a study that was published in the Archives of Disease in Childhood, children who drink 1% or fat-free cow's milk had the same risk of becoming obese as children who drink ordinary full-fat cow's milk. Wow. This is some amazing information. I'm telling you, like, when we wrote this book, it was just like, me personally, I am dairy intolerant. When I was growing up, the medical world in today's world versus the early 90s was way different than how it is today. And growing up, I had to go through a lot of like specialists and be on special formulas, and I went through a lot of things with being being lactose intolerant and dairy intolerant. And I do know that it's prevalent a lot more than we know, and we don't really understand it. So milk impurities, due to the massive amount of pollutants found in cow's milk, dairy products, there are very many negative consequences that's associated to dairy. So during the dairy production, all right, just in case you want to read along, during the dairy production today, cows are fed a diet that's deficient in nutrients, and one producing GMOs and pesticides and herbicides. And these are now, due to these impurities, dairy products are among the most frequently found genetic modified foods. Like, a lot of these animals, like these cows, are just being fed corn, and a lot of the things that I just mentioned are, these genetic modified things. So Along with the growth factors that are naturally present in cows, they are also receiving antibiotics for prevention of disease. These are being injected with hormones. These hormones include a wide use of recombinant of hormones. These hormones include a wide use of a bovine growth hormone, in which recombinant bovine growth hormone, which is known as RBGH, is used to promote quicker growth and higher milk production. Um, these health issues, including hormonal imbalances, can be brought on by hormones and antibiotics. All right, so these are all issues when dealing with dairy, understanding the concept of what's in dairy and why is it harmful to the body. All right, so there are a lot of other things that I would like to go through, but you got the concept and the foundation of the impurities and why it's scary, and pretty much 10 reasons why. All right, so I'm not going to go too much in this chapter right here about the casein and things that's in the dairy. Although it is important, today's lesson, I don't want to focus on that portion of it, but you are more than welcome to download this free guide. This is a free guide that you can download for the Why Dairy is Scary. But if you want to purchase the full book, you can purchase the full book right here by scanning that QR code. That book is $19.99 in our store, and it's handwritten and researched by myself, Jamari Kirby, and our other co-founder, Shayna Maud, the Melanated Messenger herself. And we really appreciate each and every person that decides to support, because as you know, our business is family owned, business owned, Black owned, and we spend a lot of time research and development. A lot of time it's being done on a budget by our sales, which is y'all support. So we really appreciate all the people that takes the time out to purchase anything, whether that's free content, whether that's $1 download, everything that you all contribute to this foundation and this journey goes to use. Like I said, this is a self-published book. Everything that you see here has been uniquely chosen by us. This cover was designed by me myself. I definitely want to take credit for that, because, like I said, man, we are using what we got, and some of us don't come from a background where we may be able to use a lot of resources. So you got to kind of do it all yourself, and this is a result of doing it yourself, and I take pride in it. And one day I just had to come up with it, and I made it happen. So cover was definitely produced by your boy. I appreciate everybody that support. But no later to do, let's talk a little bit about some other things here, man. Like I said, I want to show y'all, man, I am human. I put my pants on like you. Every day I bleed like you, and every day I'm still in the challenge of living a dairy-free lifestyle. All right. So, what is the advantage of living a dairy-free diet? What does that look like? What is some of the symptoms? What is some of the characteristics it looks like to live this lifestyle? All right. So there are many, many, many benefits of living this dairy-free lifestyle, and I will be sure to give you the insights of what that looks like. And so pretty much there are many benefits to living a dairy-free lifestyle. So one of the reasons of ditching dairy could be digestion. So people who are dealing with dairy intolerance, such as the gas, the bloating, the constipation, diarrhea, the nausea, around 70% of the world's population suffers from lactose intolerance to some extent. So living a dairy-free lifestyle is eliminating those symptoms. Living a dairy-free lifestyle can also prevent milk allergies and symptoms such as congestion, gastrointestinal problems, rashes, or even like other things that can be like life-threatening. Um, there's a large amount of things that can deal when we're talking about reactions of allergic reactions. Some of us may break out in hives, some of us may hyperventilate. There's a lot of different things that I could go into that may be effects of dairy and the consumption and symptoms. But I do want to just bring small lights to certain things. So other benefits of eliminating dairy may be loss of weight, and that could be because dairy contains a large amount of calories. So eliminating dairy out your diet means that you're consuming fewer calories, which also has less saturated fat in your lifestyle. All right. So eliminating uh you know sugar spikes, monitoring your glucose levels, but just by eliminating dairy out your lifestyle, you're giving yourself a better risk at not being diabetic. Other things, you're reducing the risk of cancer, including like prostate cancer, ovarian cancer, which is encouraged by a high dairy intake. All right. So these are all things that can be associated to eliminating dairy and living a dairy-free lifestyle. Like I said, also for other things that can be associated to a dairy-free lifestyle is healthier hormone levels, being that you're not ingesting mammalian estrogen and progesterone from the cows or the sheep. So mammals and the mammalian estrogen can be found in these dairy animals and mammals, excuse me. So increasing your fiber intakes also helps as well, and that's involving by eating more plants. Dairy can be living a dairy-free lifestyle can be beneficial for people who are maybe dealing with skin issues and acne issues. So just by eliminating dairy, um, you're able to live that lifestyle of a healthier, more vibrant skin as well. So these are all things that, but just by eliminating dairy, you're aiding and helping. Also the welfare on animals. So the dairy industry is a major contributor to environmental degradation, and it has been shown to cause a significant harm to wildlife. So to this habitat, this production of dairy requires a large amount of land for grazing and feeding production, which leads to deforestation and destruction of habitats and for countless species of animals. So these deforestation is one of the most significant ways in which the dairy industry contributes to the environmental of degradation. All right. So pretty much in order to produce dairy in large amounts, you need land. So that's where a lot of grazing and the production of feeding the cows happen. And I can go on and on about that, but there's a lot of things that's taking place with the livestock issue that's causing us to have a lot of environmental changes that we may and may not be aware of. So living a dairy-free lifestyle, man, you're doing so much to help us from the pollution, the water waves, livestock manure and other waste products from dairy operations can contaminate the rivers, the lakes, which leads to eutrophication. There's other things that's happening with like the death with the fish and other aquatic species. Scientists have documented the impacts of the dairy industry on the environment and wildlife in numerous of studies. All right. The land use dairy farming requires a large lot of land, which I told you all. And it's just we're using a lot of food resources to feed this livestock. Consuming dairy is affecting the dairy industry. It's affecting the water use because we're using so much water to feed the livestock. Greenhouse emissions, um, the air and water pollution, water management. These are all things that the dairy production generates in significant amount of waste management. All right. So living a dairy-free lifestyle, you're really supporting so many different things. and of course the animal warfare welfare on these animals are very important. We're killing them at an early age. We're giving them a lot of psychological trauma. um, we're shooting them up with a lot of antibiotics. There's just so many things from consuming dairy uh, that takes away from the human, I mean, excuse me, that takes away from the natural um eh, uh balance of the world. So um I'm just encouraging you all to live a dairy free lifestyle. I think I missed one portion of, I wanted to talk about the age thing. I think I missed it somewhere. Let me go back, y'all. Give me 1 second. I missed it somewhere. I wanted to talk about the age group of dairy, and let's see. I wanted to talk to you all about how's affected. Oh, okay, so it might not be in this guide. Okay. So I guess I didn't put it in this guide. So I'll I'll y'all gonna have to tune into the whole book then. But it is a big. I definitely want. Let me see if I can find the page that I wanted to bring in. I definitely want to show y'all how it affects us through age progression. Here, let me just find it in my book right here. I got the book in front of me. I just want to read this out to you all. So let me read this out to you all. So I talked to you all about earlier about cholet and how that affects babies and dairy consumption, and when we see a lot of these babies screaming and having different colors of poop and pain in the stomach. I talked about that. So that's the negative effects of why dairy is important for the kids and how is it causing allergies and reoccurring infections. So children between the ages of 3 to 14, y'all are still in an important growing years, which is why it's important to require a balanced diet that meets your nutritional needs. Consuming too much dairy may cause allergies, reoccurring infections, and digestion issues like diarrhea, constipation. The negative effects of dairy consumption on children may negatively affect their rate of growth. All right. So let me come back to the whole screen real quick. So yes. If y'all would me make some noise. I'm excited to be sitting here with y'all today. We was talking about the reason why dairy is scary. Um, I just thank you for whoever said great lesson. I appreciate the support. Let me put that on the screen. I really appreciate everybody that tuned in. But I do want to give y'all some bonus. Like I said, I'm kicking back with y'all on this Friday. This is off the clock. When I'm on the clock, I work for you. I'm still on the clock working for you, but I'm just kicking back, relaxing with my community, with my family. Yo, I'm like Cassett Sharp. I'm Cassett Sharp dressed right now, B. Let me tell y'all how, right? So I always heard that when you go to the, when you're in the casket, they don't dress the dead bodies up from the waist up, from the waist down. They don't care about the waist down. They only care about the waist up. So today I'm sitting with my collared shirt and my headphones, but I got gym shorts on. I'm casket sharp, It's only look, casket sharp, baby. It doesn't only matter as long as I'm casket sharp. That's what COVID has allowed us to do. We can show up, waist up, boom, you could be in there. But nah, man, y'all my family. I hope that made y'all smile. I hope that made y'all laugh. We casket sharp today. All right, so check me out. So effects on dairy on teenagers between the ages of 14 and 18 says for teenagers, the negative effects of dairy consumption may be reduced bone health, which is why it's important to ensure eating a dairy-free diet. Um, which is why it's important to eat a dairy-free diet. So studies have also shown that teenagers who consume dairy products is at a higher risk of developing a condition called osteoporosis. So many of us may not know what osteoporosis is. So osteoporosis is pretty much a condition that reduces the bone strength and making it easier for bones to break. The negative effects of dairy consumption in teenagers have been linked to a decrease in bone mass. I've spoken about this, that a lot of the dairy marketing is not fact. So we hear, oh, dairy's good for this, dairy's good for strong bones, dairy's good for that. That's marketing. A lot of that, all of it is not backed by science. There's no scientific evidence that says that's backing up that dairy is healthy for bones. There's no scientific evidence that's backing that up. So if you don't believe me, go out there and search or buy this book, download a free guide. We give you all of the sites that we cited and we found this information from. So if you want to dig even deeper to prove us wrong or prove us right, definitely I encourage you all to check us out and get the book. I'll post the link to be able to get it. So we talked a little about that. So yeah, so a lot of that is marketing. All right. So now let's talk about another age group here. Let's talk about what dairy affects on the age groups of 18 and 30, what that starts to look like. So as you hear, things are starting to progress. All right. So let's rewind. All right. Who remembers some of the symptoms that children between 3 and 10 it starts to experience, 3 to 14 experience from consuming dairy? Does anybody remember? I'm gonna give y'all a quick rerun. All right. So dairy starts out, so early on in our life when we're consuming dairy, it starts out as just maybe us having allergies, diarrhea. We may start experiencing constipation. We may start experiencing reoccurring infections, right? Then it starts to progress to a point where we start having weakening bones. We start experiencing things that start to develop early on ages like osteoporosis. This is starting to take on its early onset between the ages of 14 and 18. So we start being able, more susceptible to broken bones, reoccurring infections and things, right? So then as we progress to an age after school, which I told you, dairy is mandated in the school system. All right. So now that we done graduated and we're about to live our life outside of the K through 12 system, you're in your adult stage. Now it shows that you are now being exposed to high level of saturated fat and cholesterol, which is going to increase your risk of blood clots and blood pressure, which also going to increase your risk of cardiovascular disease. All right. So now that you're in your 18, in your adult stage between your 18s and your 30s, you are now starting to look at being exposed to having cardiovascular disease just by consuming dairy for 18 years. Now, I don't mean to say this in a negative way, but if you all have been relevant, we just witnessed LeBron James' son, LeBron James Jr., attend a practice over at USC, and he had a heart attack mid-practice. Now, condolences first and foremost goes out to his family, which I'm sure that this has been a traumaful event, and I'm not to here to pinpoint why that was caused. But what I am saying is, if his life has been inconsistent of dairy at some point for 18 years at least, he has already been exposed at the age, by the time he turned 18, to being a high risk uh, participant of cardiovascular disease just by having 18 years of dairy. All right. So these are things that start to take place. We start to see these things happen over time, and we think it's something we're doing now, but it's not the salt, it's not the sugar, it's not the things that we're putting on our food now. It's something that has taken place over a period of time. It's gradually growing and taking place to clogging up the arteries. So what I'm saying is, I gave you all a timeline from those ages of how it starts to grow in our body and show different prevalence, and how it starts to be, how's it starting to act at different stages. Okay, so now let's talk about what takes place. So now we're in 18, between 18 and 30, and we saw those things that I mentioned that start to take place. Let's talk about at the age of 31 and 50. For adults who are between the ages of 31 and 50, the negative effects on dairy of their health is the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Now, if you're at the ages of 31 to 50 and you've been consuming dairy, you are at the age of now being at high risk of type 2 diabetes, which is Earlier, we talked about type 1 diabetes. But kids that are exposed to dairy early on are more susceptible and likely to develop type 1 diabetes, which is in the childhood. Now we're talking about for adults between the ages of 31 and 50, you are now at the health high risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes. All right. So let's talk about what takes place if you're consuming dairy and you're still in the ages of around that age of 51. So adults who are over 51 years of age, the negative effects of dairy on their health is at now you're at the risk of really developing osteoporosis. All right. So that's where you start to see that start to take place at the age of 51 if you're still consuming dairy. All right. So the conclusion that I wanted just to bring a quick awareness of is to show you how moderately, slowly, like how they say the turtle won the race, how these health issues start to slowly creep up on you through a duration of time. Right. One of the things that you can start identifying in your lifestyle to want to live, to be able to move towards living a healthier lifestyle, is living a dairy-free lifestyle. Like that is one actionable step that you can take right now in your life, is eliminating dairy out your lifestyle. Okay. I recommend that. I recommend living a dairy-free lifestyle. Go for it. Go for it for a challenge. And if you are interested in going for a challenge, check us out. Okay. Now, if you are at a point where you may be struggling or challenged with wanting to jumpstart this journey, book a free call with me. Okay. Book a free call right here. This free wellness call. Scan this QR code, screenshot it, scan it later at a later time. But book a free call with me, okay? If you want to book a free call to jumpstart your journey, it doesn't hurt. Let's do it. I'm more than welcome to dive into that call, but I need y'all to be prepared when we get on that call, okay? It's very valuable. Time is everything, is essence. When we get on that call, let's get ready to rumble. Let's get ready to knock it down. I want you to be transparent. Let's roll. I'm going to be there for you. We're going to get to the bottom of jumpstarting this journey. But I want y'all to be serious, okay? Because if you short for you, I'm going to short for you. All right? So it starts with you, and the first step to that lifestyle that may change the entire generational wealth and health could be in the hands of this free call right here. So if you're feeling challenged to jumpstart this plant-based lifestyle, book a free call with me. I'll be more than happy to assist you in any areas that you may need support from. If you want to buy our book today, Dairy is Scary, you can click this link. All right. I'm also going to put something on the screen. So if you want to support our book, Why Dairy is Scary, here it goes. Scan this code right here. It's $19.99. You can support it today. We'll greatly appreciate the support. Like I said, we self-published this. We are the co-founders of the company and the authors of the book, and we authentically put a lot of time and research into developing this great foundation of Why Dairy is Scary and the Ditch Dairy Guide. All right, we really appreciate all the people that chooses to support us and continue to support us. We wouldn't be here without you. Okay. If you are needed to jumpstart this lifestyle and you may be challenged, here's a 28-day vegan meal plan for people that's on the go. It was $24.99. You can get it today for $10.99. So if you're ready to jumpstart your lifestyle, need a little boost, need a guide, need something to follow along, a meal plan, I highly recommend you get this 28-day meal plan. It's going to be the best investment. And even if you're not looking to live an all the way lifestyle where it may incorporate a plant-based every day, and you may just want to look up some free plant-based recipes, check out our meat substitution ebook. Was $24.99. It's on sale for $10.99. Be sure to check that out in our store, which we got many other things in our store that you can check out. But if you haven't, you can also check out our book, The Secret to the Fountain of Youth Sea Mossology, where we showcase how to master a lifestyle full of sea moss and seaweed. All right. So look, I appreciate everybody that took the time out today to join me, kick back with your plant-based wellness partner. I really appreciate it. I appreciate everybody that participated. Be sure to like my Facebook group. But I even like, I need y'all to join. I ain't no like page. I need y'all to join, participate. All right. If y'all want to transition your life, get some more lifestyle tips throughout the year, join a supportive group. And I highly recommend you join our group, Plant Basing with Kirby and Friends on Facebook. It's an awesome community where you're going to get meal replacement recipes, demonstrations for meal prep, supportive community, and so much more. All right. So like us on Facebook, Plant Basing with Kirby and Friends. I'll be there. You have officially joined us in for the Ditch Dairy Fridays, Dairy Free Fridays. I told myself I wanted to do this for a long time, and today was the day that we're going to jump right into it. It was faith over fear, because faith and fear can't exist in the same place. And I had more fear in my supporting cast than I had fear, because I had faith that this message was going to touch somebody that needed to hear this today, that's ready to take action, that's an overachiever, that's been waiting. Because what I said today, I've said that when the student is ready, a teacher will appear. All right. So I hope y'all found this message helpful, and live that lifestyle that you're dreaming of. This is the first step to take it. And remember that the world is a better place when you eat more plants. But also remember that vegan fiber is the new way to eat more plants. And with your help, we're gonna keep making this world a greener place. I really appreciate all the people that's here supporting. Once again, we wouldn't be able to do this without you. We wouldn't be able to show up, show out, and do what we do if it wasn't for the vegan fiber help, the family. You all show up, y'all show out. Once again, this was the Why Dairy is Scary quick guide, quick workshop. I appreciate you. I love y'all. I need y'all all to tune in at all times. Play this back, share it. I told y'all, man, I was gonna come in here and kick it raw with y'all, and I said if y'all be transparent with me, I'll be transparent with you. I am gonna leave it up for a quick Q&A. If y'all got any questions, I'm gonna lead us up for a little moment. I'm gonna be active in the comments. I'm gonna be checking to see who's active. I'm gonna be checking to see where y'all following me from. I'm gonna be checking to see who bought the book. I'm gonna be checking, all right? I am super active. Even when I'm not looking, it may not seem like I'm online looking. I'm looking, I'm observing, and I'm here active with y'all. So look, I need everybody to get active. Comment, share, like, support. Find somewhere to show up and show out at. All right. We got an awesome community, a lot of information that you can download for free to jumpstart your lifestyle. Like I said, when the student is ready, a teacher will appear. All right. So do I got any questions before I go? We just covered the quick guide to Why Dairy is Scary. You can find this book on our online store, Amazon, and a lot more other places coming to a store near you, because we got an awesome community that's going to support us until we get there, right? So look, if there's no further questions, I'm going to skedaddle. I'm going to leave it open for y'all. I'm your wellness partner, your plant-based wellness partner, Jamari Kirby, founder of Vegan Fiber LLC, also author of Why Dairy is Scary, the Dish Dairy Guide, and author of The Secret to the Fountain of Youth, Sea Mossology. All right. So look, I love y'all. I love y'all so much. I don't think y'all understand. Like, not everybody's privileged to have a head start. And I got to start this journey that started 4 years ago. Like, my definition of healthy when I started 4 years ago isn't what it was today. You know what I mean? So to be able to start where I was at in life and have enough faith that I can show up in my community and start from the trunk of my car, that says a lot about y'all. I don't think it really says a lot about me. I think it says a lot more about my support system, that I was able to start right where I had a vision at and have faith that you all was enough. All right. And I want y'all to grow with us. Okay. You all are more than just a product. You are more than just someone taking your money and you going home just buying a product. Like, you all deserve to ascend in this atmosphere that I have found to be a very peaceful and energetic lifestyle. Y'all deserve to learn the steps that it takes to ascend. Y'all started off with me when the first version of what I define as healthy was when I had products and things. And there's things that took place over the 4 years of just learning and being a student of life and a student of this, that I want y'all to still grow with me. But I also had a job that I signed up for to interpret the information that I've studied when I became certified in plant-based nutrition. I signed up to come back and interpret a lot of this information and bring it back to a point that can be digestible for people that look like you and I, or people that can relate to me. So I signed up for that. So I'm not going to stop. Whether I'm online or not, I'm constantly doing something. Like, online does not stop. No motion. Okay. Every day I'm speaking to people about how to improve a lifestyle to ditch dairy or how to eat more plants. So if I am online, great. If I'm not, I just want y'all to understand that this is a mission that I signed up for as a leader in this industry, to make sure I do this for y'all and myself. If you show up, I promise you, you will be led in the right direction by wherever at in life you need that support from. Not just here. The energy will bring it to you in a lot of other different ways. But I had enough faith to show up right where I was at, to start a business and change my legacy just based off of the faith that I had in my community. And I believe that anybody that gets this information that we are transcribing to you, I believe that you have the same foundation to make an impact and right where you stand with your community, and can do the same. I don't know where this information may lead you. I don't know what's in store for you. But what I can tell you is that if you live by faith and just keep having faith that this is that there's something out there for you that's more than where you currently at. This will find you. All right? Like, this will find you. It's steps that it takes, but just understand that there are other people out there that look like you, that started right where you at, that had the same obstacles to have to face, face. And I was one of those people. All right. But I do know that taking this information, seeking more than the surface, can lead you into a place right where you at. All right. So no further ado, check it out. Check out the Dish Dairy Guide on why dairy is scary. Today we covered 10 reasons why dairy is scary. We talked about the concept of dairy. We talked about the types of dairy. And we also discussed lactose intolerant and how that's affecting you right now. So thank you all for joining in again. Once again, this is Jamari Kirby. I'm your plant-based partner, founder of Vegan Fiber LLC. And I appreciate you all for showing up, showing out, being active. I really appreciate all the people that came to support. And I see y'all on the other side. If y'all found this video valuable, like, comment, share, send it to a friend. Don't forget to join us in plant basing with Kirby and friends. We got a lot of stuff coming in and workshops coming. So just be on the lookout.